Dear ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good afternoon, or good morning. I'm Dominik Bladner, the ITTF High Performance Manager, and I'm very delighted to warmly welcome all of you to our 44 ITTF High Performance and Development webinar with the topic Dual Career. 44 webinars already, what a nice number. And today we are talking about a great topic which gets more and more present nowadays in our everyday work. Due to a sudden sickness of the Austrian lady Susi Liu-Chia, which makes it impossible for her to be our guest today, we just have one real great, likable and successful lady on board with us. And we are very much looking forward to get to know how she has dealt so far with the dual career and which advices she can give us. And I want to use this chance to send Susi get well wishes to Austria, and she sent us her commitment to be one of our guests in one of our future webinars. So we are also looking very much forward to this. But before going over to the introduction of our guest, I want to talk briefly about our webinar code of the Q&A. To all the attendees, please leave your questions in the Q&A section. Our guest will try to answer as many as possible in the question and answer part of the webinar. Thank you for taking care of this. And now over to the introduction of our guest for today. It's a great pleasure and honor for us to warmly welcome a real role model in table tennis, Matilda Ekholm from Sweden. She took the 9th place in the women's singles at the World Championships in China in 2005. She is a winner of 4 medals at European Championships. She did the quarterfinal at the Pro Tour final in 2012. And she won several gold and silver medals with Georgina Bota from Hungary in the women's doubles at World Tour events from 2016 to 2019. And currently, she is coaching in New York City at Pingpot, running a project for female table tennis with the Swedish Association and the YouTube channel Ping Pong TV together with Galia Dvorak from Spain. Thank you very much, Matilda, for taking the time to be here with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure, and yeah, I look forward to this. It's gonna be fun.
Thanks, Matilda. And last but not least, I want to warmly welcome my dear colleague, our ITTF High Performance Elite Coach Massimo Costantini. So pass over to you, Max, and I kindly ask you to kick off our interaction with Matilda after your welcoming words.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Dominic. Well, thank you again, Matilda, for being with us. Matilda is not new in our webinar. This is the third one, maybe. Already participated in our webinar. One time was maybe last year, yes, and then recently for the Fempowerment. So thank you very much again, Matilda. And yes, well, the topic is absolutely interesting because we all have career in table tennis wherever you are. So I think having some testimonial of this great experience from Matilda can be beneficial for all of you there, for all of us. So I will start immediately. How is the situation in USA, in New York? But I think also you monitoring the situation in Sweden as well. And first of all, how are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. The situation. I assume that you're talking about the COVID situation.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, in New York, it's quite stable and it's been for a while. And I feel like people start to relax more, but probably also because the vaccination has been so fast here. I think about 45% of the people in the city now are vaccinated with 1 or 2 shots. So yeah, I feel like here in New York, I feel quite safe, and I had 1 shot already. Whereas Sweden, it's not going very fast. Only one of my family members has been vaccinated due to work, and and also my grandma, because she's almost 100 years old. So yeah, also I think the cases in Sweden are increasing. So I hope soon they will pick up the vaccination, so we can get.
Yeah, actually, across the Europe, yes, the situation is still, maybe roller coaster, but vaccination is on the way. So I think situation will be better, and we are optimistic to feel that some sort of regular table tennis things and regular life can get back soon. So recently we were in Qatar, in Doha, for the high performance training camp, and then during the training camp there were several competitions, several events, included the world qualification. The single world qualification for Tokyo 2020, and then one of your compatriot, Linda Bergström, got qualified in that competition. Actually, Linda was with us in the training camp for a few days, 3 days she was there, and it was very fun to work with her. And just a few comments from you, Matilda. What do you think about her qualification?
Yeah, it was amazing to see. Like, I think many people didn't expect her to do it. I knew that she could do it. Obviously, she had a pretty tough draw, but she has such a strong head. And I know that in the Olympic qualification, if you play somebody who's better than you, it doesn't really matter many times, because the head is like the only thing that matters in that tournament. You can see everybody's face is like white, and so yeah, of course I was surprised, but also not super surprised, but very, very happy for her. So I just hope that the Swedish Olympic Committee will let her go, which I think they will. So yeah.
Exactly. This is another step, important. Hopefully the same. Yes, we saw. I mean, Linda during the training camp was extremely determined, very hard worker, unbelievable good, so much consistent, and every ball actually fighting. It was amazing to see her in action. Just a couple of meters away from her. So yes, that she did very, very well. So thanks for this. I just continue. I have to go with Dominic. Dominic, it's your turn. Because, sorry, but we are 2 against 1. So, Dominic, back to you.
Massimo, and today we have a little bit easier life, 2 against 1. Yeah, Matilda, you mentioned now how the current situation is, but how was 2020 for you? I mean, there were a lot of lockdowns around the world. How did you spend the time?
Yeah, my 2020 story is quite different from most people. I was really lucky in many ways. I didn't have to suffer like I mean, first of all, I didn't have to suffer because nobody I knew got sick or died. All players were suffering because they couldn't practice, but I already felt that my career was going to an end, and I was planning to play throughout the season and hopefully Olympics too. But when this all started, I kind of felt like, well, it seems like it's my time to finish now already. So it was not really a hard decision, and that made me quite relaxed, because I could take my time to figure out what I want to do. And I came to the US and started to apply for a green card, and that meant that I couldn't work because I had no work permit, meaning that for the first time since forever, I could just, sit down and do nothing and not feel bad about it. So it was, for me personally, it was a pretty good period. even though it was, of course, anxiety about the future and the world at large. But yeah, I spent it in a summer house upstate New York, which means 2 hours from the city and the countryside, and fixing one house, helping with the renovations, and yeah, it was for me it was a good year in that sense. Yeah.
So was the US your first option? I mean, after the deciding to stop, and you had a clear idea. Okay, you know, when I stop, I have my my target. I go to US. Or was different. How this come up?
I had my partner here, and yeah, she has been living here for 20 years. So I had been visiting quite a few times, but yeah, it was a natural step to. I actually came here to visit for a few days, and I was supposed to go back to play Bundesliga in Germany, but that's when all the lockdowns happened and the Bundesliga was canceled. So then I just decided to stay. So I didn't bring any of my stuff or anything. I just had my hand luggage. So we had kind of had to solve it along the way.
You did shopping over there, okay?
Matilda, did you stay the whole year then in USA, or did you have the chance to go back to Sweden too and visit your family, or not?
No, I didn't go back for multiple reasons. First of all, I didn't feel safe, and it would not have felt safe for my family because my parents are in the 70s, and I wouldn't want to go home and not visit them. So also the one reason was because of the application process for the green card means you should not leave the country while you're applying for it. So I had to wait for my permit to travel, and yeah. So no, I didn't. So I've been here since then with my hand luggage for 1 year.
But multiple reasons to stay there. So yeah, good choice from you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And I would like now to pass the word back to Massimo.
Yeah, but still not accent, New York accent, and not already implemented in your language. So maybe soon some sort of slang, and something, chewing some words. Not yet.
Well, people tell me all the time that I have a very Swedish accent, so I guess I'll just have to live with that.
Okay, so back to our questions. You are one of the coaches from Ping Pod in New York. How do your tasks look like?
So yeah, a lot because of COVID. The rules are pretty strict. You cannot be too many people at the same time in the Ping Pod area, and also it's autonomous, meaning that you book your table over the phone or internet, and you go to your table and then you leave, kind of like that. So I've been doing that ever since I got my work permit, and yeah, that's all I've been doing. And we're planning for the future after COVID to do other events like group events and stuff like that. But until now, it's only private coaching.
So it's Ping Pod is not a club. I know how it works in US. I was there many years. So Ping Pod is a place where to play, where to get lessons, where to improve your level. But actually, it's not a club, isn't it?
No, in that sense, it's not a club. It's starting to become a community now because people start to get to know each other, and many of them go to play the local tournaments now that are starting to open, and then they use the Ping Pod T-shirt. But in that sense, it's not a club like that. It's more like anyone can come and play, basically.
Exactly. Okay, great, thank you. And then pass to Dominic. for another question.
Thank you very much. And yeah, Matilda, we know that you are, a big supporter, I can say, of FEM campaigns. As Massimo mentioned, you were also the guest in our FEM campaign week 1, the FEM Elite, together with Tamara Boros, which can be seen on our YouTube channel. And beside that, you are also supporter of fempowerment, if I can call it so, project. And besides being a ping pong coach, you're also involved in the great initiative from the Swedish Table Tennis Association. Could you please give us a short overview of what the projects regarding the women looks like?
So it was the top level of the federation. They started to ask, like, why are we not having more girls or women in the Swedish table tennis? Like in any place, not just players, but coaches and umpires and in all areas. So they came to me and asked if I want to help figure out what to do and help to inspire. So we started to make, just like you do, online seminars, inviting. After making some research, I found it very clear that a big missing link is the female coaches. So many young girls, they identify with the female coaches better than the male coaches. And if you never have a female coach in table tennis, then they are more likely to stop. So I suggested that we would target female coaches and figure out why there are so few and how we can get more. So we started to invite them, the ones that exist. And this network, we can call it, has been growing. The first seminar we had was about 15, 16 people, and now we've had about 70 coming and going. And we're planning to do more things, physical meetups once it's possible, and when I'm back in Sweden.
And Matilda, how has the transition from the, let's say, theoretical side to the practical side been so far, or isn't it at all possible in Sweden at the moment because of some maybe lockdowns, regional lockdowns, or?
You mean to have physical meetup?
Not just the meetup, but how was the response? Are there already been more now? I would say, women coaches involved in some bigger projects, or not yet?
No, there has not been many things. I think many clubs are still having trainings, but many of the tournaments has been on pause, and now they started again just recently. So this project that we are having is it's a long-term project. So we're not just looking at now. We want to make women and girls realize that they can become coaches, and let that take us further to inspire more girls to play. And so that's the whole plan.
Yeah, great initiative, and good luck for this. And before I will pass the word back to Massimo, I would like to remind the people out there to please feel free to leave your questions in the Q&A section for Matilda, so that we can then ask her your questions later on in the question and answer part of the webinar. And I see now that the next question, as Massimo also last time, we are playing 2 against 1 now. It's my turn, I can see. So I will pass the word back to me. And Matilda, but this is not all. I mean, for you, it's almost, I can say, a triple career, not dual career. You are also a real estate manager. Please tell us a little bit more about it, and you are utilizing your table tennis background for this also.
Yeah, I don't know if I would call it real estate manager, but I'm starting to get into it. We are planning to make this a thing for us, me and my partner. And when we came here, and like I said before, we went upstate New York. We were renting a cottage, and it was really cute. But we said, like, why are we paying rent for this because the houses there were really, really cheap. And so we said, like, why don't we just buy a place if we can find one, and then we can rent that once we fixed it. And yeah, so we did that, and it worked out really well. People wanted to get out of the city, obviously, because of the situation, and so it became a vacation rental. And then we started thinking, like, yeah, maybe this is something we should be doing because we both enjoyed it. And yeah, now we have more plans coming up. So we will see how it goes, but I really enjoy that.
Great. I wish you good luck, you and your partner, for this. And hopefully, when maybe in the case Massimo and I are coming, to US, maybe then we can also get a spot there in your house, Maybe we will also have a little we can enjoy.
Yeah,
okay.
You are very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. But now it's time to pass back to Massimo.
Well, one step back when Matilda was talking about the coaches. Now you are doing coaching, so your career as a table tennis reflects basically the way you coach, or because the US or different people, your coaching is a little different. I mean, you are a player. I loved watching you playing because Matilda is a player that never cared about winning the point. There was ongoing rally, So it's there. Okay, I can return the ball. I can return the ball again and again. So while many players they are so rushing and eager to finish, to finish the point. But you looked at that never rushed to finish the point. That was my feeling, and I was enjoying a lot to watching you. So, is your way to coach, and maybe also to deal with the different aspects of your life? Is this real estate, as Dominic said, or a YouTube channel working with that? So, is your background as a player is giving strong input in your current work?
Yes, absolutely. And if we start with the coaching here in the US, that's what I tell my students every day. Like, don't attack the table. You can wait. The ball will come to you, and if you don't have a good shot, just move your feet, play the ball slowly, and let the opponent miss. And then maybe you get a good shot the next ball, if they even put the ball back. So yeah, I try to teach that a lot. Absolutely. I feel like many players are in a rush. And now tell me.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, in the other aspects of my life, I think it's a quality that is useful for example, in real estate, to be patient and evaluate the situation. Is this going to work out? Is this going to work out? And not just run into something. So maybe sometimes I should be more aggressive. I don't know, but now it's working fine. When I was a player, I should say that many times it would have been good if I could somehow finish the point also. But yeah, we can't be good at everything, I guess.
So you are what we call all-round players, all-round, let's say, to be ready to control, having the situation under control without rushing, assessing very well, try to read the situation. I think all good qualities that makes the life maybe like you are conducting now more efficient, more helpful, I guess. So so this is great. I mean, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think also in the YouTube channel that Borek and they are running, it's kind of the same thing. We're looking at we're trying to educate people to the channel, and we had a lot of great response so far. So many nice comments about how helpful the videos are. So we're trying to look at it like, what can they learn from us as pro players, and like the whole picture. I think that's been really good also in those terms.
Yeah, exactly. Regarding the YouTube channel, you're running with Galia. The idea was a planned idea, or due to the COVID situation that, of course, made us in front of a computer and screen, and then starting brainstorming and what we can do. Okay, let's start this YouTube channel, or was something already planned ahead of time? How did it come out?
It was a mix of everything, I think. I had been like my own social media. I was never really inspired to just put photos of me and my results, and I know many players do that and they enjoy it, but for me it was more like something I should do, but it didn't feel really meaningful to me. And I think Galia felt something similar, but she also felt that we can do something, like we have a lot of knowledge. And she was like, I'm sure you don't want to do this, but we should make a YouTube channel together. And the format of YouTube, for me, is it's more profound. You can actually, like, it's a longer, even though you shouldn't make too long videos, you can actually get some message out there. So I like the idea, and then we just started. But I guess it was because we both had quite a lot of time on our hands, so due to COVID.
So is a continuous message that you can give to the users, and then they can return. It's like coaching. When we coach, we have to have the right answer in the right moment with the right let's say tone of the voice, and maybe we see the results through the results of the player. With YouTube, maybe we have to almost do the same. We have to give the right indications and messages in order that people on the other side can learn from us, from you in this case, from you.
Yes.
So that's also pretty cool. Well, I definitely come and inquire you sometimes in your channel. So be ready that I'm going to ask you very tough questions.
Yes, I look forward to it.
Okay, Matilda, thank you. So back to Dominic.
Massimo. And Matilda, although you are really a lot of kilometers away from Sweden, but are you still in contact with your former Swedish, compatriots? I mean, like, for example, with your former mixed double partner, Matthias Falk?
Yeah, for sure. I'm good friends with many of my compatriots, so absolutely. we send each other messages sometimes, Matthias especially, and now recently, obviously, I was sending the girls at the Olympic qualification good luck messages and congratulations. So we speak from time to time, and also Linda has been attending 1 hour seminars, and she will be coming to the next one as well. So it's also nice for the young Swedish coaches to see and learn more about her journey. And so, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, we know that, you know, the Swedish team has a real great and I would say role model team spirit, you know, that's why I came up with this question. And when we talked about Matthias Falk, I also saw that you analyzed his win against Shushin with him on your YouTube channel, and he made an unbelievable step in the last few years. I mean, what are your thoughts about this? Because you how to say, you were together with him there in the mixed double, and you saw how he grew up. And what is your thought about this?
Yeah, it's we had a whole video with him. Yes, also talking a little bit about this topic, because I think he had early success in doubles with Christian, and then success with me in mixed doubles. And I think that led him to like realize his potential also in singles. Like he had already been on the big stage, and then he had kind of a smooth transition to singles, where he's been phenomenal lately, which is very nice to see. Because he's just like Massimo said about Linda. He has an extremely good focus and determination, and working really hard. So yeah, it's nice to see that it pays off, and he's also a really great guy. So I'm so happy for him.
Thank you very much for this. And now back to you, Matilda. And I mean, we are now aware of your multiple roles in your life, I can say, but how do you manage your day when you are covering so many multiple roles?
Yeah, it was, I would say in many ways, it was so much easier to be a player. Like, you go to training, you go to eat, and then you rest before the next training. And you're allowed to only think about that, because that's what that's your only thing. At least it was my only thing, because I didn't do anything else. But now I have to keep focus on many different things. It's a very new thing for me, but I realized that that's what most adult people do. So yeah, I'm trying to grow into this role, and it's getting better. But it's been really tough, to be honest, to make that big switch. It was a lot harder than I thought because of that reason. Like, yeah.
I can believe. And how does a usual day for you look like?
Well, there is no usual day, because it's always different things. Sometimes I have a webinar, and I just got back from a private lesson 30 minutes earlier. So I almost forgot about the webinar because I had to eat something, because I played for 2 hours with one guy. And but I have my calendar now, which I never had before. I never needed before. But yeah, it's
sorry, Massimo, go on.
Sorry.
Still one day, 24 hours, right? It's not, it's not that
exactly
26, 27, still 24 hours, huh? No change.
Yeah.
That's good to know, because
yeah.
Matilda, before it was like this, 9 to 12:30 and then 3:30 to 6:30. So you didn't need a calendar, right?
No, and then it was, I knew the tournament calendar and my matches. So I know that whole day is for that. And so, but now this afternoon I have to go to IKEA because we have to put stuff in the rental property. And then we are going to look at some property. So like it's yeah, there's a lot going on all the time, but in some ways I also enjoy it because everything is new, and it's exciting. So I'm also happy that I'm here, even though it's been quite tough. Yeah.
Great, but Matilda, you mentioned that you didn't do anything beside playing table tennis, but I think this is not really true because I know that you were also studying, right?
Well, I've been studying on and off, but always at a very slow pace. In Sweden, at the university, you can choose 100%, 50 or 25. So I was doing 25% classes. So I've been taking some of them, but it didn't take much time. It was not too much. I know some players studying full time and playing, which I don't know how they do it, but impressive.
Okay, thank you very much, Matilda. And now I will pass back the word to Massimo.
Yes, well, yeah, of course, there's we can tell the passion and the enthusiasm from Matilda doing this kind of new things. But one question, what do you miss the most thinking being a player? Like being 10-10, 3-3, 10-10, leaving that? No, please.
No. That's what I'm most happy to not do. It was so much stress for me to play matches. I really enjoyed training and getting better at something. I think was the biggest thing for me. I felt like, oh, I can do this now. I play at this level. I can beat these kind of players. But yeah, I think the freedom that it is to be a player, to have such a free life, I think that's what I miss most. And the traveling, but that nobody is traveling now. So yeah, but no, 3-3, 10-10, no. I'm very happy to not do that.
Well, interesting thing. You said something that attracted me a little bit. Maybe also people can understand better. Okay, back to the playing. You said that I like to train. I like to train and then to see the improvement, the feeling I have improved. But how is this feeling? Because maybe players and coaches also we don't realize much, and it's not easy also to transfer this kind of feeling when you feel that today I have improved. I feel that I can beat that player or the other player. Can you try to share with us this kind of feeling?
Well, yeah, it can happen in the training hall, obviously, but you feel that somebody you play with often, and let's say they hammer you in the middle, and suddenly you feel that you can escape that situation. Or there can be some different occasions, or you feel like you've been working on the deep backhand ball, that you want to keep the balance instead of like leaning and trying to reach the ball, and suddenly you feel like, oh, now it's working. It's all like it fits together now. So those kind of details you can feel, but also when you come out to the tournament and suddenly you are up 8-1 against a player you've never beaten, and then usually you will lose because you realize that you were up 8-1 against somebody you shouldn't win against. But then the next time you play the same player, again you're maybe up with a few points, and then you've grown into that, and you can just continue to play, and suddenly you beat that person, and then that's thing you felt like, oh, something did happen.
And how you make also your students now from the other side, how you make your student feeling that they have improved, sort of, the quantity, they are able to express more consistency or a better placement or more power. Okay, players are different one by one, of course, but what is the way to make them, feeling, yes, okay, today was great, you have improved?
Yeah, I try to ask them many times. If I say something and I ask them after, do you understand what I mean? Can you feel the difference when you do it? Like many of the players, they just hit flat all the time. And then I see that they are brushing the ball sometimes and it's spinny. But then I ask them, like, do you feel when you're brushing and when you're hitting flat? And then maybe they say, yeah, I feel it. Then we know we're good. But sometimes they just have no idea what they're doing. And then we have to kind of take one step back, because it's important that they feel and they know why they're doing something. Then the next step can be that I see that their topspin is too short. And then I talk to them about going more forward or whatever it is. And then I just let the ball pass me and I say, did you see where it bounced now? And they say, yeah, it was a long topspin now. And then they realize, oh, it actually helps if I do this. So I try to do it like that.
And this is great. I mean, it's a part of education and improvement process of teaching, learning. The self-awareness. Of what going on actually. So it's not something that happened without a reason or without anything you can do. It's important that players, coaches, whoever are there, having this feeling of awareness, how the things working actually.
Yeah.
So great. Yeah. I have another questions for you. Well, regarding, of course, the dual career or the triple career. I don't know, dual career. What kind of advice you like to give for the people out there, for our attendees, thinking to start something like that, something like a dual career? What do you suggest? What do you advise?
Yeah, I'm so new to this, so I'm learning day by day, but I think the most important thing that you kind of try different things. I tried a few different things that I felt pretty soon like, oh, this is not for me. But this I enjoy this, or this is worth my time. I get something out of this, and this brings me money, which also matters because you need to pay rent. And like, again, to not rush into things, like learn from what you're experiencing. And yeah, if you've been a player all your life, then it will be a big change. But yeah, unless there's like some money urgency, then take your time and find what works for you, because it's different for everyone.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So I think what time is? 5:45. What time is in New York? Is 11:45, right? It's
yes,
almost ready for lunch. I know. Don't forget to eat, huh? So not focus too much on the agenda.
Yeah, let's see if I have time before IKEA.
So back to you, Dominique, and we have something else, I guess.
Yeah, you are very right, Massimo. And now it's time for our question and answer part of the webinar, Matilda. And so far, 2 questions have arose. And I would like to start with the question from David Bace from Malta. And he says, congratulations, Matilda, on your achievements and for your future endeavors. And now the question, in Sweden, how academically prepared are the pro athletes who are ending their table tennis career and are seeking employment?
Thank you, first of all. And yeah, I think Sweden is very good country in that matter because our university is for free. I mean, most athletes do it when they feel ready for it. And like I said before, some athletes do it during the career and some do it after. There is always a time for university if you want to in Sweden, since this is for free. You even get a little bit of support from the government every month if you do study, and you can borrow money, of course, from the government, like student loan. So I would say in general, most athletes have been studying something. So yeah, I think maybe more prepared than other countries. I don't know the statistics, but at least in Sweden, you have the chance to do it and have a successful career.
Yeah, and beside the support of the government and yeah, I mean the chance that you can study for free, I like the idea very much of the percentage model, as you mentioned before, so that you can choose the pace of your study.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Matilda and David. Hopefully your question was answered. And now I will pass the word to Massimo for the other question. You are muted, Massimo.
He's on mute.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Max, for muting yourself. Now I am mute myself again. So, now I was asking regarding the question from David. Is it for this table tennis specifically, or in general for all sports, or there are some difference according to major sports, what we call major sports, or minor sports, what we say? Is it by
the same? It's the same for everyone, including non-athletes. So. My mom was in university until she was around 50, taking some class here and there, just to learn something new. So yeah, it's for everyone the same.
Good, great. So the next question is from where is the question from Gerlu Michael Flores. Hi, Coach Matilda. What are your tactics during endgame? Would you mind sharing us?
During endgame,
which you don't like. You said before that 10-10 you don't like.
My tactics is to avoid the endgame.
To win before.
No, but
try to win before.
Yeah, try to win early. To not get nervous. No, but I try to use a new serve many times. If there's a player that I've played many times, then it doesn't matter because they know my new serves, so they're not really new. But if it's a new player, I always keep one serve. It may not be the best serve I have. It probably isn't because I want to use my best serves during the match, but I keep one serve that is just a little bit different. It can be that I serve from the middle instead of from backhand corner, or just a small change, because many times in the end game the opponent will be a little bit nervous and stiff. You just change something small, they can be thrown off. It can be a long serve too. Tell me.
Yeah, no, I mean, to create some sort of surprise, but sort of difference in what was conducted until that moment to create more unpredictability, let's say like that.
Yes, and the same thing for the receive. If I had been playing short mostly, then maybe I give a long ball, even though it's not my preferred receive. It's many times enough to throw them off. So I try to change something Other than that, during the periods when I was meditating a lot, I could keep my calm much better. So if I would get nervous, I would just go back to my breathing, and then I would be kind of at 0 again. So if I get too worked up, it's 9-9, I get stressed, and I just go back to my breathing, and I'm back at 0. So that's a good idea if you feel stressed during those times.
Great. So I hope, Michael, we have Gerlu, Michael Flores, we have Matilda have replied to your question. My ultimate advice is better to win rather than lose, but this is my personal personal opinion. Okay,
yeah, win the last ball.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Dominic, I think Matilda did a super great job, even as a sole guest of today without Liu Jia, as you explained earlier. So, Dominic, back to you to conclude.
Yeah, thank you very much, Massimo. And as no other questions have arose so far in the Q&A section, we will now conclude the webinar. And dear Matilda, you were a real great and communicative and inspiring guest. And we, the entire ITTF HPD team, we want to thank you a lot for taking the time to be here today and for sharing your insights, experiences, and also your advices regarding the dual career. And now at the end, also a little bit your advices regarding the end games. So thank you, Matilda, for this.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thanks a lot. And I would also like to thank our audience for attending, and we hope our 44 ITTF HPD Table Tennis at Your Fingertips webinar was interesting and helpful for you. And I'm looking forward to announce the next webinar, which will be held next week on Thursday, the 8th of April at 2 p.m. Central European Summertime. And former world-class player Bettine Vrieskop from Netherlands will be there with us, and we are very much looking forward to a cool interaction with her. So stay tuned for our future activities, and don't forget to sign up for the next week's webinar to take the unique chance to ask Bettine your questions. And that's all from my side for today. Stay safe and healthy. And for the ones celebrating Easter, happy Easter to all of you. And now I kindly ask Massimo for his closing words.
Thank you, Dominic. Yes, my closing words is to thank again Matilda for your precious time have dedicated to us for this interesting interaction. And we wish you all the best, of course. Happy Easter, and don't work more than 24 hours. Try to, stay inside those 24 hours. And so thank you very much again. Hope to see you. Hope to meet you again somewhere in the world. And with this, we conclude this meeting webinar with Matilda Ekholm, our great guest. And see you next time, April 8th, with Bettine Vrieskop. Thank you very much, and ciao.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Ciao.